Thanks for joining us on NewsNation Rush Hour. I'm Nichole Berlie. Russian President Vladimir Putin issuing a new nuclear warning to the West over Ukraine. It comes days ahead of the one-year mark of Russia's war in Ukraine. Putin giving his speech today. At the same time, Russian rockets slammed into a busy street in Kherson, killing 6 people, injuring 12 others, all as Moscow denies it's targeting civilians. A short time later, President Biden giving a speech in Warsaw, Poland, doubling down on supporting Ukraine and its battle for freedom against autocracy. So joining us now, Unbalanced host Leland Vittert is here. All right, so Putin is framing this as a conflict with the West. He never once mentioned President Biden. Russian state television did not air Biden's speech from Poland. Is this gap widening between Russia and the U.S.?
Hard to say whether it's widening or if it could get any wider, right, in terms of what has happened. You've got Joe Biden, who said Vladimir Putin has to go and is a war criminal on one side, and you have Vladimir Putin saying that he's fighting Nazis and they will not stop until they've liberated Ukraine. So it's hard to imagine how much wider the gulf could be. I think what's interesting, you made a great point about the fact that Biden's speech was not broadcast on Russian state television. Why not? Because Biden spoke directly to the Russian people, and he said, we don't seek conflict with Russia. We don't seek conflict or destruction of Russia, on and on and on. We simply seek Russia to stop invading Ukraine. Vladimir Putin's speech was meant for a domestic political audience. Joe Biden's speech was made for the Western allies, if you will, the NATO allies, and then also the world at large, most probably poignantly China.
Okay, speaking of China, should we be concerned about China's involvement, some would say collusion, with Russia?
Well, it's absolute collusion. Whether that translates into full-on help or not is another issue. And we should be very concerned because the more the Chinese can bleed America's weapons supplies and NATO's weapons supplies, the easier it becomes for the Chinese to make mischief in the South China Sea, the easier it becomes for them to invade Taiwan, the easier it becomes for them to try and play various NATO allies off against each other. The more the U.S. military is engaged in having to help supply weapons to Ukraine, the less it is engaged and the less we have to give Taiwan. So, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. There you go.
And it's interesting, because, again, our factories here in the U.S. are struggling to keep up with the demand for those weapons. But speaking of weapons, so Putin is now saying Russia is removing itself from this nuclear arms treaty, something that many would say it wasn't participating in anyway. But how close is Putin? I mean, is he getting closer to potentially utilizing nuclear weapons?
He certainly wants us to think he is. And look, every time Vladimir Putin appears on the ropes and appears to be losing the PR war, which he is right now, Joe Biden shows up in Kyiv, is heralded as the American leader of the free world coming to save the Ukrainian people. The headlines across the country and across the world were very favorable towards President Biden. You've got hundreds of thousands of Russian casualties. You've got this one-year anniversary coming up when Vladimir Putin was supposed to be walking in Kyiv at the one-year anniversary or the one-month anniversary, and he's still stuck in Russia somewhere in undisclosed locations because his inner circle is closing. Okay, so every time he feels more and more threatened, he tries to change the conversation from Russia is losing to Russia might use nuclear weapons. Now, whether or not that changes the calculus of the United States and the other allies, so far it has not. But again, we wait and see if the United States or others, President Biden didn't allude to it, begin to ratchet up the pressure directly on Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, I mean, how many times can he poke and poke and poke before someone
how many times can you say, I'm going to use nukes, I'm going to use nukes, I'm going to use nukes, hold me back, hold me back, hold me back, before everybody kind of yawns and goes, okay, like, you want to use them, use them. If you don't want to use them, don't use them. If you use them, there'll be consequences. Now we're all going to go about our lives, which almost feels like what we're getting to.
I was going to say kind of.
Yeah, there you go.
Like that. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.